Do you think I should be wearing this rabbit fur? Hello and welcome to Repertory Company Theater's RCT360. And if you haven't already guessed, today we are officially over the hill. This is episode 40. Can you believe it, ladies?
Just like our ages.
This is 40. This is what it looks like.
That's right. We're so glad that all of you are here watching with us. I'm Deidre Sherm.
I'm Laura Alley.
And I'm Rachel Radcliffe.
Hey, and when you're 40, you don't got a lot of time left, right? So we got to get right into this show so that we don't waste a minute. So ladies, right away, grab your teacups. It's time for Tea with Deidre.
Got it?
All right, ladies, do you have your cups? I see you've got more than a cow today, Rachel. I love that. Well,
I do. I remembered my tea today.
Wonderful. And while we are about to start this 40th episode of Getting to Know You, well, I'd like to take a moment and share with you my teacup first. This teacup is actually a teacup. Ooh, hold on, let me sip a little here. So that I can turn it. Can you see the rose?
Ooh, I love that.
This
Very
is
pretty.
Beautiful Limoges china from my grandmother that has been sitting in a box for the last, I don't know, 15, 20 years, and I've just left it there. So here's my encouragement for you today. We've got so much going on. We're unfortunately experiencing some hard times and maybe getting in a rut. Maybe you've lost a family member. Maybe you've gotten sick yourself. Maybe you're just trying to keep it all together like I am. But one thing I want to encourage you to do today is to take out the fine china, to drink that wine you've been saving, to put on the fancy dress, because I want you to know, and say it with me, that you're worth it. So ladies, lift up your tea, and I want you to say, I'm worth it. Go ahead, say it with me. I'm
Worth it.
That's good. Take your little sip. So it's short and sweet today, ladies, because I just want you to remember, get out the fine china and drink from it. And that is my encouragement to you today. Laura, take it away.
Knowing a person is like music. What attracts us to them is their melody. And as we get to know who they are, we learn their lyrics. RCT is so excited to have our new rep company for 2021. This year we have 72 talented performers, and so many of them are new to our stage. So we're going to take a little time today to introduce you to 3 of our brand new company members. And I'm going to start with Aaron Adair, theater professional at Southeastern Oklahoma State University. And we asked Aaron some questions. What's your favorite way to spend the day? He says hanging out with his sons or riding his bike. The next place on your travel bucket list is what and why. He wants to return to Ireland to see the places that he missed. And his favorite ice cream topping was Oreo Bits, which sounds delightful to me, and we're gonna get along well. Deidre?
Yes, that sounds delightful. Now, I am getting to know, along with you, our new company rep member, John Lackey. And he's going to be coming up in our production of Spamalot. So cannot wait to see and hear his beautiful voice that I've heard about. He works for Riata Pharmaceuticals. And his favorite candy is a Reese's cup, because you can actually buy a single cup that weighs a half a pound. His worst purchase was canned yams. They were bland and had a ton of processed sugar. So you need to get the fresh ones and do some cooking. Oh, hello, maybe you teach me a few things. Apparently he has a whole recipe, 15-minute prep, 1 pot, 1 big dish. Maybe we should have him on to share that with us. Who do you have, Rachel?
I want to introduce you to Candace Robinson. Candace is a beautiful performer, a beautiful dancer. So clearly we're going to be like this with my own amazing dancing skills. If she could live in any period of history, it would be the 1970s because she loves the fashion and music from that era. So we'll get her some tight bell bottoms and wedge shoes and feathered hair, and she's going to groove it on up. And she would like Whoopi Goldberg to play her in a movie about her life because, quote, she's a great entertainer and I aspire to be a great performer like her one day. And the three words that describe Candace are ambitious, creative, and passionate. So can't wait for you all to meet our new rep members. We've got so many fun people.
That is so awesome. Now, Rachel, you've been giving us some serious book recommendations. Do you have any more for us this week?
I do indeed. I do indeed. You know, speaking of getting to know you, books can help us get to know one another better, or they can help us just feel less alone in the world. You ask, can we say that reading books and learning to see ourselves in books will make us braver or more empathetic? Books can be windows and books can be mirrors. We can see ourselves reflected in books and we can see into other people's lives through the books we read. How true is that? Okay, we've got some great recommendations for this week in that vein. So how about Codename Helene? Ladies, have you read that? It's by Ariel Lawton, based on the real life of Nancy Wake. This book tells the story of an Australian expat. I was going to do an Australian accent and it was going to be bad, so I'm not going to do it.
No accents, please.
I'm just not going to do it. So, based on the real life of Nancy Wake, this book tells the story of an Australian expat who worked as a reporter for Hearst in Paris just before World War II and later as a spy for the British. So very intriguing. Or if that doesn't float your boat, how about The Widow of Rose House by Diana Viller? The effervescent Gilded Age romance is set in 1875 New York City. I love that. A Gilded Age, pretty age of innocence kind of genre. Love it. And finally, how about What Could Be Saved by Lisa O'Halloran Schwartz? For readers who liked Little Fires Everywhere, that's a fantastic book. Go check out What Could Be Saved. I think you'll really like it. So that's 3 more for the books today.
Well, you've been full of wonderful ideas for that. Thank you for those recommendations. And of course, I have to stop and take a moment and say, ladies, you two are looking beautiful today. Man, every time we film this, I love getting a chance to see you. You're glowing, Laura, in that purple. Hello, Rachel. Thank you so much. And you know what? I love that purple so much. How about you just take it away with some quarantine confessionals?
Thank you, Deidre, and welcome once again to another episode of Quarantine Confessions. Come closer, but not too close. Okay, so we're talking about getting to know you today. We're introducing you to new rep members, and I have a confession that I am really not proud of. I pride myself on having a very good memory, solid. I remember my lines, I remember music. I have an amazing amount of really just uninteresting and not useful information that's stuck in my brain like a steel trap, but I'm not always great with names. I hate it. I hate that I'm not always great with names. And I diagnosed it as the problem is that in that split second when you say, hey, I'm so-and-so, I just lose focus for a little bit. And it's usually about something like, oh, your earrings are pretty. Or, hey, that guy reminds me of my college boyfriend. And I lose it for just a little bit of time, and it doesn't sink in as deeply as it possibly could. So that leads me into compensation mode for the next time that I might see people. And it usually goes in a couple of ways, 2 or 3 ways. Number 1, I can usually narrow it down to like 1 or 2 names that kind of sound alike. So I might say, oh, hey, Sean, how are you today? Hoping that you'll just kind of hear your name in the mix. Or I will remember a great deal of of personal details about a person besides their name, and I'll compensate with that by saying, hey, how's your aunt that had knee replacement surgery last year and it was acting up again last time I saw you? That somehow sticks. Or perhaps, I go with the absolute worst and I try to avoid this like the plague with the good old fashioned, hey, you person. Again, it's not great. So what I'm saying here is I don't think I'm alone in this and I want to get better. So in my world, what I propose to all of us is that we take it back old school. We take it to the greeters at your grandmother's church, and we all just get ourselves some nice name tags. Maybe they have pins, maybe they're magnetic, maybe it's a tattoo. I don't know, I don't care, but it's just nice to have a backup, and I will be the first in line to wear my name tag, because honestly, it really doesn't offend me if you don't remember my name, unless you're like my mom. That would be upsetting. And I am glad to give you the safety net of a name. So, friends, if I see you and say, hey, Sturfin, I am so sorry. And know that I treasure you and value you and can't wait to get to know you better. And that, my friends, is my quarantine confession.
Oh, thank you so much, Rebecca. Just really so glad to, just so you don't forget. Yeah. Anyway, ladies, are you still there? Can you pop back on here for a second? Because I have my own quarantine confessional, not to step on your segment, Rachel, that I need to present to you for just a moment. I don't know if you've noticed this lovely, wonderful sweater that I have on here, vest on, but it's from our RCT longtime rep member, Lori Beth Westbrooks, who was also on our show before, but can you guess what this is right here?
I'm gonna go squirrel or chipmunk.
Squirrel. I'm just gonna go straight to skunk.
What was the second one you said, Laura?
Squirrel or chipmunk.
Okay, good. Well, you're all both very wrong. It is rabbit. It's actual rabbit fur. This is a hand-me-down from Lori, and I'm having a little bit of a dilemma. My quarantine confessional is I don't know if this is something I should wear or not wear because it's actual fur. Like, what do you think?
Well, you didn't kill it, and it's a recycle because it was given to you and someone else wore it for a long time first. So, I mean, it's probably okay. It's already happened, right? What's done is done.
Right? What do you think, Rachel?
You can't bring, now as a general rule, I don't wear fur. So like that is the thing. But you can't bring the bunny back to life. And maybe they were bad bunnies that hurt people or, talked bad about other bunnies. So,
right. And look, it's got these amazing pockets.
Isn't Bad Bunny a rapper's name? I think it is.
I believe so.
Bad
He's
Bunny.
like it's a group, like a reggaeton kind of Bad Bunny.
I like it.
Well, I knew I could count on you too. Thank you so much. Now, Laura, get me out of here and take us away. I hear we have a special in the spotlight today, and I can't wait to see it. Go ahead.
Today's In the Spotlight guest is one of the most talented girls I have ever met. Please welcome to our webcast again, Julia Small. Hi, Julia. Hello. So glad to have you with us. First of all, can you tell us a little bit about who you are and what it is that you do?
My name's Julia. I joined RCT 10 years ago. I just got my 10-year anniversary pop up on my Facebook. I love y'all. But I carry a briefcase by day, and I'm a stepmom at night and a wife. And I have a band called Just Like Pink, and I love to garden and work in my yard, and I like to cook.
A lot of things going on. How has the band life changed due to the pandemic?
It's virtually non-existent. We did probably about maybe 4 or 5 shows this last year. I have 3 coming up in the future. We are playing Legacy Hall in February, Fat Daddy's in May, and we've got another one down the line. So they're starting to pick back up, but it's limited capacity. And, you know, at the last minute, any venue could say, hey, can you jump in and do this? Because their restrictions change so much. And so you just never know when a gig's going to pop up. So we're just trying to be flexible, and it's no longer really our heart's desire, you know, to play every single weekend all the time. But we still love to play so much. We don't want to give it up. We all just love to keep our chops up. And so whether that's playing acoustic in your living room or if it's playing in front of thousands of people, you know, we just want to make sure that we keep that craft going.
Nice. And so you've also kind of started something new with an online presence with your cooking. And what inspired you to create your new venture, Joa's Kitchen?
Well, my husband loves my cooking, and he always talks about how good my cooking is. And I think it's pretty good, but I'm not a chef by any means. And I mess up meals. You know, it's not always, you know, 5-star dining in my house, and it's not always 100% homemade either. You know, my kitchen is just always where people can come to the table, and oftentimes they just sit at my island and we all just, you know, chomp on the buffet kind of style, whether it's taco night or if it's, you know, barbecue night. And I've served it up with sliders or with, you know, taco shells or whatever, and serve it yourself up the way that you want it. I present this life with, you know, everything good comes from the kitchen. Your best memories are in the kitchen, your family time's in the kitchen, your stories are in the kitchen, and that's where everybody congregates whenever you're having a party. Everybody wants the food, everybody wants the beverage. So since I don't write recipes down, and it infuriates my husband because he's like, what'd you do to that? I'm like, I don't remember. We decided to, because I have all these pictures, right? And I go, well, that one was good. So I started going through all my old pictures and putting them in a folder, right? And I only got through the year 2019. So I did 2020 and 2019, and I haven't even gone through the rest of them from the prior years. And I had over 150 photos. And so Brian goes, well, we need to really do this. So one night I'm working late because, again, I carry a briefcase by day. And I've had a really busy year with that. And so I'm sitting on my couch working until, I don't know, 10, 11 o'clock working on something. And so he just starts creating my logo. And he created my Instagram page first. So that's been around for about a month or so. And then the Facebook page came like a week or so ago. We just finally got the accounts connected yesterday because I'm social media dumb. Anyway, so it's really just a place to post pictures and like, this is what I did. And if this inspires you, do it.
Nice. And you say that you don't cook from a recipe, but what is your favorite meal to create?
I love making lasagna. I made a lasagna about a week and a half ago from scratch, homemade noodles and homemade sauce, the whole 9 yards. And I did a bechamel instead of a typical American ricotta base. So it was very authentic Italian, like true lasagna, and it was very, very luscious. It takes a very long time, so I don't make them often. It is so high in caloric content. It's not necessarily something you're eating in January when you're supposed to be dieting from the holidays. But I love making a lasagna. I love doing Italian food for sure, and I like to grill. I love to grill.
Nice. What advice would you give to someone who wants to experiment in the kitchen? I am myself not a cook, but someone who would be more adventurous and not being afraid to try something. What advice would you give them?
So I would tell somebody, just make sure that you read a cookbook, watch a cooking show, whether that's the Cooking Channel or they have all kinds of series on Netflix. There was a movie called Chef that came out, and they did a series based off of that movie where they went from city to city, and these people that were really good at their craft, they tried to hone that and learn what that person did, whether it was cooking a brisket with Franklin from Austin or if it was a Korean barbecue truck. So watch a show that interests you and foods that you might like to try, and don't be afraid to fail with it, you know. look at in your pantry or your refrigerator and see what ingredients you have. Google that. What can I make with?
Wow.
And you put your ingredients in. You'll be so surprised how many recipes just pop up. And that's just kind of how I started. I'm like, oh, that looks good. I could try that. I typically can watch something once and remember how to do it. So cooking shows are glorious in that regard. And then if it's something that I'm really interested in, I'll make a little note in my phone or something to remind myself to go back to that in my brain.
Oh, this is making me so hungry talking to you about all this. Julia, thank you so much for spending some time with us today. I know you have some meat behind you ready to grill for dinner, and I know you want to get started on that. But thank you so much for spending some time with us today, and we look forward to seeing more about Joey's Kitchen in the future.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you so much, Lara. Who's hungry for lasagna? I am now. Oh, what do you have there?
That's Bad Bunny. Proof. Bad Bunny. So, all bunnies aren't good.
No,
That's true.
Thank you so much, Julia, for joining us for the In the Spotlight interview. It is always great to hear from you. She's such a wonderful talent. So thank you for that, Laura. That was so enjoyable. Now, we're back again for my favorite time. It's called What Can Deidre Lose Again? But sometimes it's called Little White Lies. So go ahead, Rachel. Why don't you take it away?
Thank you, Desiree. Thank you, Lauren. It is now time for our new game segment, Little White Lies, in which each of us are playing. We are all participants in the game, and all of us have two cards. One contains a truth, one contains a lie. And so we will read one of the cards chosen at random and at ransom. That could be bad, but let's move with it. And the others will choose whether or not what our statement is a truth or a lie. So, Laura, hold up your cards. Go first today. And Deidre, pick a card.
I'm gonna go with card number 1 today.
Number one. All right, hit us. Will it be a truth? Will it be a lie?
I was the print model for Yes Jeans out of China.
Okay, all right. We have 1 minute. I'm going to time us to figure this out. Okay, Laura, what year was this?
I was about 21, so 1997, 98.
How did this come to be?
How did this come to be? I was given an opportunity actually through a board member of RCT.
What airline did you fly on to China?
I did not fly to China. They actually were here and they took pictures of me here.
What kind of jeans were they? Were they just like your stonewashed jeans? Did they get fancy?
They were pretty fancy and they were pretty tight. I'm not gonna lie, because I believe Chinese people as a whole tend to be smaller framed and I am not so small. So they were tight fitting jeans.
Oh, were they all capri jeans on you?
No, they were not capri.
What did the picture look like that was taken?
We actually did several different shoots over 2 days throughout the Dallas area. We were in Plano, we went to West End, and we went to a office building in North Dallas.
Okay, and did you ever see the finals? Like
I did not. I never got to see the final product because they were actually going to take them and use them in China and actually on a billboard.
Okay, all right, that's time. Ugh. This is tough. I actually think that I think I know the answer to this, but then I'm struggling with the fact, here is my struggle, is that I feel like any jean for you that was made in China for Chinese women is going to be a capri just generally by merit of the jean itself. So I'm going to go against my first gut and say this is a lie.
I was gonna say it's a lie only because I'm trying to learn from last week that they said if there was a lot of words that perhaps it was a lie. I think there was a lot of words there, so I'm gonna say lie as well.
It is 100% true, and my bottom was on a billboard in China.
All right, Deidre, hold up your cards.
Yellow or not so yellow?
Okay, Laura.
Yellow.
Go yellow.
I'm trying to learn from last week. I once was asked to be the caller for an auction for pies at a honky tonk in Missouri.
It's a lot of pauses.
I know. I was once asked to be the caller at an auction for pies at a honky tonk in Missouri. If we're taking out all of the pauses that were
That was
very
a lot
pregnant.
of pauses.
Thank you for that recap. I just wanted to say it all right.
What
You
was
did
the
an
auction?
excellent job.
Oh, sorry.
All right. Okay, we're starting now.
What was the auction for?
Pies.
Oh, pies. I thought it was like a cow auction. Sorry, wasn't paying attention. There was a lot of pauses. Sorry.
Why were you at the honky tonk?
Two-stepping on a holiday weekend from college.
How old were you?
College, probably 21, 22.
Oh, I've got it. Can you give us a little of your auctioneer spiel? Go.
I got a pie here. I got a cherry pie. You want a pie? You want $5? $5? Come on.
What was the most expensive pie auction?
I honestly do not remember. It was a very long time ago, but probably $25. It wasn't
For
like
pie? That'd be good pie.
it was a
I
fundraiser.
know. Yeah, inflation. That's like a $50 pie now.
Did they
What were
pay
you
you?
wearing?
What were you wearing?
I do remember this. It was a wraparound denim. Wait, it was a jean button-down sleeveless shirt and a wraparound skirt kind of material with the fringe along the edge.
I feel like when
Nice early
made up.
1990s cowboy.
I mean,
cowboy
yeah.
boots.
No, actually, I bet that was cute. Were you wearing boots?
Yes, I was. Boot, scoot, and boogie.
What color were your boots?
I still have them. They are a tannish, kind of tannish, like
There's a
dark brown,
a
light brown.
lot of pauses in this.
Okay. Yeah. And okay, one more question, Lauren. Then that's time.
I don't have another question because I feel like last week she had verbal diarrhea when it was a lie,
Correct.
and so this week she's pausing a lot, and I feel like it's true.
You know what? I'm gonna go true as well. I almost got lost because I think there was a lot of pausing about the wraparound skirt that just didn't feel genuine to me. But
Like
I'm
a
still gonna
stutter.
go. But I can also totally see her auctioning off pies.
And you are both correct.
Woohoo! Deidre, we know your tells.
That's fine. It doesn't matter what I do. I lose these games. I will always lose these games. So
All
far,
right, Rachel.
So far, I'm two,
Okay.
0 for 2.
0 for 2. Rachel, where's your cards?
Okay, here are my cards. Number 1 and number 2, if you can
What do
see
you
them.
think, Deidre?
Ooh, we did 2 last time, didn't we?
Yeah, let's do 1.
Let's go for 1.
Okay, number 1. Let's see. Oh, good. I thought it was empty. All right. A monkey once threw a piece of toast at me during breakfast.
He goes to the zoo a lot.
She also goes on safari a lot.
Yes, she did go on safari, and that would be where someone would get toast thrown at them by a monkey at breakfast.
Monkey, right? So where were you?
I was in Tanzania in Tarangire National Park.
Who were you with?
I was with my friend Peggy, my travel buddy, and our travel group.
What were you doing at the time?
I was finishing up my breakfast and hoping to eat a little bit of toast.
What kind of monkey was this that tossed the alleged toast at you?
That's a good question because it's not a colobus monkey, but they have blue bottoms.
Okay.
So this blue bottom monkey, where did he get his toast?
From the table at which I was sitting.
So
and-
he came up to the table, took your toast, then threw it at you. Did he try to eat it?
It was not it was not my toast. So we were sitting at a very long table, and so I was kind of at one end and we were gathering up to get on the road, and he was down at the other end. And so he got the toast, and then someone's like, "Hey, monkey, don't do that." And then he's like, "I'm a monkey." And he
Was
threw it.
this lightly toasted toast, or was it like a dark toast?
I would say it was lightly toasted. You know?
I don't know, Deidre. What do you think?
Well, I'm gonna go with my instinct and say that this is I'm gonna say this is false because I think maybe it didn't happen in Tanzania. I think something like this happened at Disney World in the village where the monkeys are. So
I think that this is true because I have seen a lot of your travel photos and documentation, and I feel like this is a true statement.
This is false.
Oh, Deidre.
This is false. There were monkeys and they were hopping around, but they did not throw toast.
They didn't throw toast.
They were
It's
not
very
toast throwing
specific
monkeys.
throw.
Yeah. I mean, they were, and that is the game.
hey, well, I can't even believe it. We are at the end of our show, ladies. Number 40. We have now gone over the hill, and it's time to wrap up. So, what you got, Rachel?
All right, you know what I have? I have our restaurant of the week, and staying with our sweet treat theme, our restaurant of the week is Sweet Firefly Ice Cream at Custer Parkway and Lookout. So good. So good. They're open from 1 to 9 p.m. Try their hot chocolate topped off with a scoop of your favorite ice cream.
Oh, that would be good.
Mind blown. And also, they deliver within a 5-mile radius. So if you are in the greater Richardson area, check it out. You could have Sweet Firefly ice cream delivered to your home. If you're 5.3 miles, they still have curbside pickup. They are wonderful supporters of the community. So go and get some hot chocolate with ice cream today.
That sounds so good. If you're looking for something to do in February with your Valentine or before Valentine's Day, don't forget to get your tickets to Love Letters, February 5th through the 14th. And I hear there's a few cafe tables for 2 available for the show. So call the box office and ask about the specialty cafe table seating. Deidre.
Well, that would just be a lovely little Valentine's treat for you and your special date. So we'll have to head right over there. Well, that's it, ladies. I want to say thank you to all of you who are watching. We just love having this time with you each week, and we hope that we've brought a little laughter and love to you. Hey, why don't you do some voting down in the comments? I mean, I know the girls gave me a freebie on this, but do you think I should be wearing this rabbit fur? Or should I maybe make some donations to some places for what has happened? But anyway, we love that you're here. We're so happy to be together. And until we can be together again, I am.
You are.
We are
RCT.
I'm so hungry now. Oh my gosh, who else wants lasagna and steak?
40. I love
just
that
like
40. That's
40,
great.
just like all of
That's
our
very
ages.
great.
We're all 40.
Right.
Hey, Deidre, cute you are.
I put a belt in it.
You belted it, girl. You belted it.
Melt it, girl.
When in doubt, you just
Good.
belt it.
Belt
Just
it.
belt it, girl.
Belt
On stage and in fashion. Belt it. Belt it.
Please, Rachel, take it away with Quarantine Confessionals.
I think we were
Okay.
supposed to do the company members, Deidre.
Yeah, company members
Just
first.
wait to do all that. I was about to start talking.
So Rachel, did you just stop your
Oh, wait.
video?
Everybody but Rachel means everybody but Rachel.
John said a wordy dirt.
Oh no.
Busted.
Sweet John.
I hate the bandwidth when it's out like that.
You do. If you only knew what it was.
I don't
I
know.
knew what it was.
What is bandwidth?
I just pretend that I know. I hate that bandwidth when it's so out of tricks.
That's bandwidth. It's terrible.
$3. What was
Those are expensive.
of today being our 40th episode?
Right? And you got
and someone in our neighborhood selling a big giant 4O balloon
I
for
love that.
$3. I won't be able to run for office one day because of this video.
Probably.
Look at these pockets.
Look at that.
Oh, look at that. I mean, it's pretty. It's very pretty.
It is pretty. Yeah.
Poor little rabbit.
For rabbits.
Rabbits. I bet
for
that was more than
rabbits.
one. That's more than one for sure.
Thumper's mother was very upset. By the way, you're looking very, did I ever say this before? Svelte? Is that the right word? Rachel, I feel like you've been riding a bike.
Oh man,
you're getting-
what I've been doing is I've been eating brownies for dinner. That doesn't.
That's the dinner of champions right there. Brownies for dinner.
Oh, so
I'm
good.
thinking I want to come over to your house too.
Sure.
Have you ever done that thing where you introduce them to someone else and you just go, hey, I want you to meet my friend Sally, and then you wait for them to introduce each other.
Oh yeah, that's a pro move right there.
Deidre's dancing with a giant zero.
That's normal. That happens in our house all the time.
Always.